As we get closer and closer to the season opener in Bahrain, more and more rumours are coming out for each team. Each team, of course, has ambitions of winning the championship in 2023. Realistically, it's between Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari, and people are excited to see who will come out on top. It's hard to predict who, but in today's video, we are going to talk about some news that came out recently from Ferrari and how it could be very promising for the team and all of the Ferrari fans. Of course, these are only rumours and not facts and have to be taken with a pinch of salt. Nevertheless, let's get right into it. The news dropped these past few weeks that the Ferrari simulator for their 2023 Challenger, which is codenamed Project 675, is projected to be a whole second quicker than the 2022 Challenger. The simulator has to be taken with a pinch of salt, as it is far from the same thing as putting the car on a track, as there are certain factors that could make the car much slower. But if this is true, it puts out a warning to the rest of the grid that Ferrari could walk away with the title just like Red Bull did last year. Ferrari at the start of the season had the edge over Red Bull, but they just fell away as the team did not develop the car as well as their closest competitors. So they have to learn from the mistakes that they made in 2022 and must make sure that they do have a good car at the start. They are able to maintain it until the season finale in Abu Dhabi. The story of 2022 for Ferrari was mainly around the reliability of their engine, so they've been focusing a lot on this department through the winter break, so that if they do have this second quicker car, they will be able to win races as their engine will not foul on them like it did several times last year. A second is a lot when you look at the aspect of a race. If Red Bull is only able to find half a second of the time in the RB19, Ferrari will be able to dominate the race as they were not far off at all. The main issue for Ferrari was not the qualifying where they actually took more poles home than Red Bull did, but the problem was in the races and how the performance just fell off a cliff. And this was not due to performance. This was due to the tyre wear that happened on the Ferrari compared to the Red Bull, and even Mercedes, who was sometimes even better in the race, even though they had a slower package than the Scuderia. Ferrari is very capable of being a top team and dominating, as it is in their DNA, and it will be sooner rather than later when they finally win a championship for the first time since 2007. The signs are there, and if this is true, which it could easily be as it came from an Italian source, Ferrari could easily dominate for years to come if they are able to develop at the top just like Mercedes did for all of those years. Looking at the closest competitors, Red Bull and Mercedes, they could have difficulties in 2023 too, and this is for several reasons. To start off with, Red Bull will have a very limited CFD and wind tunnel time due to the fine that they got for the cost cap, but also finishing first in the championship. They will have 63% of the time compared to where they could have had 70% if they did not break the cap, and that is much less than Ferrari, who will have 75%, and that could be a big factor in deciding the outcome of the championship. However, Red Bull has Adrian Newey, and we all know how good he is at creating cars from nothing, so don't be surprised if Red Bull arrives in Bahrain having the fastest car. On to Mercedes, and they of course had the worst car out the big three, so they will have a lot of work to do to actually be quicker than the rest, but they are the best at coming up with innovations and having that ability to win as it is in their DNA. Overall, if Ferrari is able to fix the little issues that they had in 2022, they will easily be the championship favourites if this 1 second a lap quicker rumour is true. However, we are now going to discuss how this rumour could easily be false, and you have to take it with a pinch of salt for a number of reasons. To start off with, in 2022, before the season opener, the exact thing happened around Ferrari about how they were going to be this big title dominator. Yes, they looked like they were after the first few rounds, but of course they were unable to mount a charge past the first 3 races, and it was kind of embarrassing for the team that was built up as being back and looking to do what they did under Michael Schumacher for all of those years. So these rumours could be made up, and really Ferrari's simulator is not a second quicker at all, and it was just put out there to build up some excitement for the season, as if it was someone in the team doing this. it puts a lot of pressure upon the team, as there has been radio silence from the Mercedes and Red Bull camps, who are keeping their cards close to their chest. Ferrari is massively under the pressure from the Italian media, especially to bring a championship back to Italy. And why would an Italian media outlet say this when it could be just for the clicks? Furthermore, the simulator has little to no correlation sometimes too when a car gets to hit the track for the first time in Bahrain for a number of reasons. The car may react differently to the environment, such as the porpoising that we saw last year. Ferrari has had their fair share of bouncing, and as soon as their 2023 hits the track, it could easily have the same issue as Mercedes did last year, and it could fall back. The reliability issues could be there too, and maybe even worse. The car could be a second quicker, but if it cannot finish races consistently, there is no chance it will win a championship, as having a good engine wins championships, and we have seen this from Mercedes. Furthermore, Ferrari could have put this out there to try and strike some fear into their rivals, as it may make them worry that they have not made a quick enough car. It could easily cause them to change their approach so that they are quick in the simulator. Overall, it is fair to say that these rumours could be false and far from the truth, so you have to take and believe that it could be true, but don't be surprised if Ferrari blows everyone away. But also, don't be surprised if they are not 1 second quicker. But what do you think? Will Ferrari actually be a second quicker than 2022? Or will they be in and around the same position as last year? Let us know in the comments below. Overall, looking at both how this rumour could be true but also wrong, it still brings a lot of excitement for the 2023 season. I'm sure all of us Formula 1 fans are itching for the car reveals, the pre-season testing, and of course, the start of the season. It is so hard to call what will happen due to all of these factors that could make a team a championship winner, but also how their competitors could be quicker than them. Ferrari is in the middle of the team above them in Red Bull, who had a dominant car, and then you have Mercedes, who had the slowest out of the three, but how they seem to have fixed their issues, and the W14 will be much quicker, as everyone is predicting, and from what Toto and even Russell has said in the media in the past. Ferrari fans, get excited if this rumour is true, but also be ready to expect some disappointment, as Ferrari has a recent track history of not being up to everyone's expectations. So if you want to see if this rumour is true or just made up to strike fear into everyone else, you have to make sure to tune into the Bahrain Grand Prix. It will be one not to miss, as everyone has a point to prove. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one.